Whew. Okay.
Oh man, I can't believe I'm really doing this.
So, it's been no secret that superhero media has been in kind of a rough patch over the last few years, specifically regarding Marvel and DC. And people are now starting to wonder if they'll ever come out of this rough patch. This sort of downfall in the superhero media space has been caused mainly due to the sheer amount of content that we've been getting over the last few years, and people ultimately are getting tired of it. Let's look at Marvel for this. Marvel has been pumping out content like crazy over the last few years in this post Endgame era. I mean, just look at Phase 4 in itself. It had a total of 18 movies and TV shows released. To just put that in perspective, that is more content than Phase 1, 2, 3 combined. And you're telling me they released that within the few years that was Phase 4. I don't know, man, that's just kind of insane to me. And with that being the case, people began this notion that they're tired of superhero content, calling it superhero fatigue. Now, me personally, I don't think that's the real problem here. You see, it's not that it's been too much superhero content, it's that the content that we've been getting isn't exactly top tier quality, if you know what I'm saying. But let me just explain. Marvel specifically has been in the forefront of it all, with the sheer amount of content coming from them being let's just say not that great. With projects like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Secret Invasion, Ant-Man Quantumania, and all these other major flops, just to say the least. Now, these projects initially planned to push Marvel into the next phase, it ultimately fell flat. And with all this attention on Marvel, DC isn't innocent either. Let's just be real. Just look at DC's failed Snyderverse, a cinematic universe that failed to take off in the way they hopes it would, in rivaling the MCU. Now, I'm not here to tell you anything different. Those movies are bad. There's no getting around that. I'm just here to tell you that there's more to the story. These big corporations like Disney with Marvel and Warner Brothers with DC have just looked at superheroes as just brands to bank out of, thinking that if you just slap a popular superhero name on a movie poster, you're immediately gonna make millions. They think that if you just cast the biggest actor in the moment, playing the main character of the superhero movie, it's immediately gonna just have money flowing in like it's a water fountain or something. A perfect example of this is Black Adam. Black Adam is a character that people have been begging to be put on the movie screen for the longest time. And DC tried to bank on this anticipation by casting Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who we all know, the quote-unquote people's champion, to play that beloved character. To get even more attention on this film, DC thought, let's bring back Henry Cavill as Superman, who they initially fired a few months ago, to reprise their role in a post-credit scene so that it can bolster some hype for the next couple of movies, or maybe they could try and do a little Superman with Black Adam story in the next few years. That's what they thought they were going to do initially. But we all know it didn't exactly end up that way. Let's just say it how it is. The movie bombed because of it being formulaic and how Dwayne portrayed Black Adam with no soul or actual feeling for the character. This led to DC having to drop Henry Cavill again from Superman and having to scrap their plans at the time and having to start completely fresh. A similar thing happened to Marvel. Is this still recording? After Ant-Man Quantumania bombed in the cinema and with their main villain portrayed by Jonathan Majors had a major public controversy, they had to completely scrap their plans moving forward with Kang the Conqueror and have to look for a brand new villain, which ended up being Doctor Doom. Now, with all the recent failures by these two brands, it forced them to take a step back and reevaluate their game plans. And this actually ended up being quite the blessing for them. Marvel cut down on the amount of projects they were releasing on a yearly basis. In doing this, they tried to focus more on quality over quantity. And it has shown in the recent endeavors with the recent Thunderbolts movie. And as much as Brave New World wasn't exactly the Captain America movie we were all hoping for, it did its job. And it kind of shows that Marvel, they're trying to do things right. Now, I haven't seen Thunderbolts myself, mainly because I live in a farm of a town that doesn't have a cinema. But the positive reviews that I've seen for it have given the sense that Marvel had a vision while making this movie, and it has reflected onto the big screen. And with Thunderbolts having a great response like this, it gives me hope for the future projects that they're doing, like Fantastic Four, which me personally, I have been excited for since they announced it, and Marvel's Doomsday, which is have already started filming. It gives me hope that these projects are gonna have some semblance of quality to them. Now, on the other side of the phone, we have DC, who have been looking great with their new DC universe, mainly due to James Gunn being at the helm of everything. You know James Gunn, the guy who made one of the best Marvel trilogies that they've done with Guardians of the Galaxy, and the guy that made DC's most beloved movie in recent years with being The Suicide Squad. Yeah, that guy. The film that I and everybody have been mainly looking at this DC universe has been James Gunn's Superman. Everything I've done in this movie, the casting announcement, looks at the costume, and these trailers just gave us evidence that this film is going to bring to life who Superman is and not being missing from the character in previous iterations. And with this new and hopefully comic accurate Superman, it gives us hope that we are going to be led into a new era of DC superhero movie that we can all be excited for. All in all, superhero landscape is in a great spot right now, with the two juggernauts of this landscape finally fixing what they've been doing wrong for the past few years. Further proving my point that superhero fatigue was never a thing, but simply the quality of superhero content wasn't it from Marvel and DC. But this poor period from Marvel and DC ended up being a missing for other superhero projects to come out and just take the world by storm, with TV shows such as The Boys and both are just top tier television in my opinion, and I definitely recommend you go check them out. But just to kind of cap it off, us as superhero fans are eating good for the next few years, and we should all be excited from what's to come. Okay, so I don't exactly know how to do an outro, but I just want to say thank you for watching. This was not easy, standing in front of this camera and talking about this, because I've been wanting to start this channel for a long time, but I just haven't had the guts to do it. So I'm just glad that I finally stepped up and just did something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, comment on what you think about all of this, so that we can, I don't know, have a little discussion going. I'm trying to make this a thing. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. You still here?